New Christian education opportunities are starting soon, including the Empowered Servanthood class. Now, if you're like me, that phrase doesn't tell you much about the class. So here's Pastor Padell to tell us what the Empowered Servanthood class is and why we'd want to go to it.
Beginning Sunday, September 7th, Trinity will offer a 5-week journey to learn about spiritual gifts, to identify our own spiritual gifts, and examine how to effectively use our gifts and our passions to best serve God and others. By the end of the class, you'll have an understanding of your gifts and how they are essential for fulfilling the purpose God created you for. To register for the class, please contact me in person or use the contact information on the screen or in your takeout.
Here's a message from Pastor Gibbons about the Good Neighbor Community Walk on September 13th and 14th.
Welcome to the neighborhood. Carol and I have lived here for almost 30 years. This is where we've raised our kids, and it's been a great place for a family, great place to raise kids. We've gotten some new neighbors over the course of the last few years. We've got Tim and Sherry over here that are relatively new. They've got a little guy named Sean, and you'll find this interesting. Sean was baptized at Trinity about a year ago. New neighbors to the south of us that have been here only a couple of months. Don and Tony, we're beginning to get to know them and beginning to enjoy who they are, letting them know us, and in the process developing a relationship. We've been here a long time, and there are quite a few people on the block that we don't know, but I'm hoping to change that on the weekend of September 13th and 14th with Trinity's Good Neighbor Community Walk. I'm planning to get out and introduce myself to our neighbors, to begin to interact with them, and to even pray with them.
Training for the community walk will be next Sunday, September 7th in the activity room after the 9:30 and 11 a.m. services, and also on the days of the walk. As we continue toward our Generation celebration the weekend of September 28th, you'll notice candles populating the aisle at church, each with a different color of ribbon signifying a different generation. On the chancel, you'll see a banner with a large cross made of different colored little crosses. The crosses are also colored to represent specific generations, and the number of crosses represents the proportion of that generation in our congregation. You can see that baby boomers in green are a much larger group here than the silent generation or the GI generation. The baby boomer generation are those folks born between 1946 and 1964, currently aged 50 to 68. I am a baby boomer. When I think about baby boomers, the first thing that's different about us is that our parents in the previous generations were great providers. Most of us grew up with very comfortable childhoods, and we just assumed we'd go into college. We all grew up with the space program. As kids, we all knew the names of the Apollo astronauts. And baby boomers also were the first generation to really stage public protests against the government for social justice causes. We thought it was our right to do that, and that's something you don't see in the earlier generations. Race relations have also changed a lot. When I was a kid, there were still parts of the country that had separate water fountains for white people and black people, which just seems crazy today. African Americans faced all sorts of discrimination. We've come a long way, but things like the Trayvon Martin and Michael Brown shootings show us we still have a long way to go. Another huge difference in our generation is the use of technology. We've really embraced the use of computers. Sometimes I have 3 computers working on stuff simultaneously for me here in Trinity's TV studio. Now, if I could just figure out how to use my phone.